We have Daniel W. Many therapists are not even PhD holders anymore. Therapy can be bad and is oversaturated today. Divorce is abuse towards children. These women fail to realize their arguments normalize and praise divorce, create social stigma around it again. Views on child support. Okay. Views on child support?
I support it.
I think if a woman makes more than a man, she should pay child support. If a man makes more than a woman, he should pay child support.
Second it.
I think if there is a joint custody, and a woman was not having a job within that partnership because the man didn't want her to, I feel like it's his fault for not letting her, or her fault for not having money of her own. I feel like women should have money for their own for this reason. I don't believe you should ever leave your husband and wife. Your husband and children. I think that's sad and wrong unless there was cheating.
What? Don't you think it's the most optimal system to have a woman staying at home with the kids?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the natural design.
But once they go to school, what does she do?
Well, that was my question, right? So why are we paying her child support again?
Because
that
you make
she does? What do you mean?
Still?
She doesn't put the kids to sleep. She doesn't feed them. She doesn't send them to school with stuff. Like
she doesn't cook your food.
She doesn't clothe them. She doesn't.
She's like an employee to you.
I'll answer your questions. So if you're sending your kids to school, they're going to school for 8 hours a day. Mm-hmm. It's a huge block of your day where there's not kids around. That's one. Two, I'm not saying in the formative years that women don't put in a lot of work. They do, but it gets a lot easier for women as the kids get older. Even by 4, 5, 6, 7, right? They're going to school for most of the day. Women are not busting their asses anymore to take care of the kids. They're just not. It gets way easier for them. Men, on the other hand, still are. But they're still working the 12s.
Wait,
they're still
what?
working the 16-hour days so that they can support the family. And now they have to do it even more. They have to work even more hours if the woman's going to stay at home, because now the system requires 2 incomes for you to survive.
It sounds
so
like
you have to extend your hours as a man most of the time.
It sounds like you want the wife to stay at home and raise the children, but you're also holding it against her because you have to go to work.
No one's holding it against her.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, you're not really doing anything. You just stay at home, and I have to go to work.
No,
every
I'm
day,
saying that
so
my claim is it's not equally yoked. She's getting the better end of the bargain. So if you bring up, well, what about her housework, etc., I'm saying she still gets the better. She's still getting the way better end of the bargain.
Later, but she has to put in way more work.
No, she even gets it earlier.
No, she does not.
She does
I agree with him on this.
Does.
I'm sorry, but
in the beginning when she has to raise the kids.
Till what? 3
I
years?
will say I agree with you on this
For
one.
real?
Yeah, so for 4
I
years,
think the woman
she's
needs to be in the household.
Oh, okay. How many kids do you have?
they just want
None.
Hey, who here agrees with me who has kids?
Well, I do.
I don't have kids, but
Well, but I want to put
people
it.
with kids agree.
I want to put it in a context. I want to put it in a context.
3 years.
But aren't you a businesswoman?
Yes, I am, but I want to put it in a context that empowers women, which is, yes, women who get to stay home and raise their children while their husband works hard. That is a blessing.
Absolutely.
That is a blessing to the woman. And I have been an entrepreneur my entire life. And 4 years ago, I lost everything I had worked for, and God gave me the gift of enjoying my children at home. And I didn't realize how incredibly empowering that was. And that was our natural role. And I will say this too as well, because if I don't keep talking, you're just going to talk over everybody. I will also say this. Child support started on this concept that, well, because I stayed home all of those formative years, I wasn't able to, this is when people got married at like 20, I wasn't able to go to college and build a career. And now if we get divorced, I don't have anything that I've done for myself except for these children. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that's how child support started. But now women and men take advantage of the system where they abuse and they hire the highest paid lawyer, and they want to get vindictive against their spouse, and they literally use government, which we shouldn't be using, to punish a spouse and get more money that they don't deserve, or punish people and not to give them money that they do deserve. But I will say, again, women do not work as hard as men. Doing the dishes and the laundry and paying the bills and running errands and raising your children is beautiful, and it is a gift. But that's the job.
Some men and women run empires together.
But if you're a stay-at-home mom, that's the job.
Yeah, I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. I think it's where women need to be. I think we need to be in the household. I think we need to be barefoot in the kitchen, raising our children, and I am now working I work with my husband and with Lindsay, but I don't agree with the child support and I mean, again, I think when you're taken, like Lindsay said, when it started, it was meant that way. It's a good thing. But at the same time, I feel like it should be completely off the table. We shouldn't even be discussing this. Why is divorce at such a high rate? And then we wouldn't need to be having child support.
I think I saw a statistic that divorce was actually down from
It's because
1980.
fewer people are getting married.
Oh.
No one gets married. That's Joe Biden's America.
I'm going to read a couple chats here. We have